Previously on the M's Vlogs YouTube channel. So the first one is that the reason that Barry looks different in the SCPs of Sodor is because he probably had a horrific accident. Something akin to Henry's accident with the flying kipper. And so basically he had to have some kind of equivalent to major reconstructive surgery. But because they couldn't fully reconstruct him to how he was, that's why his voice sounded different, and that's why his face also looked different. I really do hope that if Victor adapts the whole Corey theory, then maybe it within, 1975 to 1985, Corey comes to the island and Barry and him meet. But the one thing that I hope Victor does is that I hope he doesn't kill Barry off before Corey comes to the island. And now, this video.
When is Thomas coming back? Bring back Thomas. Thomas needs to return. Victor, why are you doing this? You can't just keep Thomas dead forever. Stop trolling.
Thomas
seriously pissed off. Put Thomas back into the stories of Sodor right
Thomas
now.
needs to return.
Thomas
Please revive
Thomas.
This
You
is
cannot have a
outrageous.
Thomas
Stop
fan
trolling
series
us
without
Victor.
Thomas
back.
in it.
You
I
can't
am
do this
seriously
from your
pissed
channel.
off.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Holy crap, please shut up!
Hey guys, what's up? So, I'm doing another Stories of Sodor Theories video, and this time a character needs virtually no introduction. All you need to know is that he has 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy dome. It should come as no surprise that I am of course referring to Thomas the Tank Engine. This famous little tank engine, who is a London Brighton South Coast Railway E2 tank engine, has gained international stardom, and there is virtually no one that hasn't ever heard of this famous engine. He has a fame which is rivaling that of the famous A3, the Flying Scotsman. Making his debut in the Railway series alongside Percy, Toby and several other engines, this small tank engine has gained a popularity thanks to the efforts of Britt Allcroft and David Mitton, who adapted the Railway series back in 1984. And since then, Thomas has only gained so much popularity in the last 40 years, and for better or for worse, he is a pop culture icon, with virtually everything referencing Thomas the Tank Engine at least once. And if that wasn't enough, Thomas has a very, very dedicated fan base, and some who are good, some who are bad, but equally love this show all the same. We may disagree about which season we like, which characters we like, what sort of reboot that we like, but equally, none of us can deny that we have a very strong love and interest for this famous franchise centered around this E2 tank engine. Despite Thomas's fame, his real-life basis, the London Brighton South Coast Railway E2, has no living members, although there are whispers that a potential E2 is being built for preservation. But right now, these are rumours. 8 years ago, a man from Australia who was in the Thomas fan base called Victor Tanzig created a series on YouTube called The Stories of Sodor. This series combined elements of Thomas and its sister series Tugs, and with the real world elements mixed in, made it feel like that the events that happened in the stories of Sodor actually happened in real life. This series became very successful, which is now currently on its 7th season. Now, there is a bit of controversy surrounding the stories of Sodor and with Victor himself. And one of these controversies is that he has a habit of killing off characters. And one of the unfortunate casualties of the stories of Sodor was, in fact, Thomas, who, in the last episode of Season 5, Fallout, had met his end after an explosion at Brendam Docks. To say fans were a bit miffed would be a profound understatement. Fans have been demanding Thomas coming back into the stories of Sodor. And now, if you were to ask me if I think Thomas should come back to T-Sauce, I would say yes, but not quite yet. What I mean by that is save his return for a proper occasion. So like the 10th anniversary of his channel, or 100 or 150,000 subscribers. At least with that, you're giving T-Sauce fans something to look forward to. But that's not what this video is about. This video isn't about why Thomas comes back or when he comes back, but rather how he comes back. Now I've got 3 theories, one realistic and one not so realistic and another definitely not realistic. So I'll deal with the first one first. So the first theory is that this Thomas who comes back is not the same Thomas as before, i.e. he is a different engine. It would basically be a repeat of what happened with Arthur. This theory, me and the Nostalgic Multiverse share because, to be perfectly honest with you, it's the most realistic way that I can see this actually panning out. Maybe Neo Thomas, or New Thomas, as I will call this character, maybe he comes back in, I don't know, maybe the 80s when the actual Thomas series takes place. So maybe he was built to be a brand new Thomas for the whole Rail tour and everything. So he looks like Thomas, he has the same number as Thomas, but he's a completely different Thomas altogether. Oh dear God, I'm getting Shed 17 flashbacks now. On to the next theory. So the next theory is that Thomas is actually a SCP. So basically he's the result of the Path of the Dead. If you remember back to the SCPs of Sodor, there was a Valley of the Dead, and it could be that whoever goes in there next brings back Thomas, or inadvertently brings back Thomas, because the Sodrian text said, if life enters before its time, then the dead shall return. So it's very possible that maybe a human called Thomas, maybe his last name could be, I don't know, maybe Thomas Lawrence, Thomas Cook, Thomas Jefferson, whoever it is, whoever enters it into the Valley of the Dead, they bring back Thomas, and he could come back that way. And this final theory is probably unlikely, but I wouldn't be surprised if Victor Tanzig goes with this. And that is, the reason that Thomas gets sent to Barry Island is not just because all these scrapyards on Sodor and in the northwest of England are overloaded, but maybe because there's like some secret SCP foundation which revives engines. So maybe they have a way of bringing back Thomas, but the one caveat with that is that it wouldn't make sense, and there's an off chance that maybe if they did bring back Thomas, he probably wouldn't remember who he was. So he'd basically have amnesia. Something similar to what happened with Brian, although to a much greater extent, since Brian kind of already knew who his friends were, he knew who he was. But Thomas, if he's brought back this way, he probably wouldn't remember who he is. Like with any theory relating to the stories of Sodor, until Victor Tanzig says what he plans to do, what his plans are, whatever, we will never know. So all we can do is speculate. And I know not everyone is going to agree with me, but put your thoughts in the comments anyway. And the next video probably will be the Power Rangers Christmas one. I'm probably not going to do the Kamen Rider one until New Year. Gotcha! Oh shit, I forgot about you. Ho ho ho. Got you this time, bitch. Ahem. Check the bottom. Oh, bollocks. Bah, whatever. You'll screw up eventually, and when you do, I will write your name on my list, and I will have fun with your naughty little ass. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! Pause!
Oh, not like that, pervert!
Whatever, just get out of here. Fine, but this isn't over. You hear me? Yes, you said before this isn't over, blah, 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 blah. Just get the fuck out! Okay, Jesus. And they say I have a short fuse.
What the fuck was that?
I'll be honest with you, Stella, it's probably best not to question it, because as Nostalgic Multiverse would say,
All you get is bullshit after bullshit with every single joke.
which to be honest is not entirely inaccurate. I mean, if I had to explain that last bit to someone, I'd probably have to say it was something like plot convenience.
Plot convenience is how you explain these things away.
Anyways, like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.